How I turned $100 into $597 in 4 days. Hey gang, this is Mike with MrNoFluff.com, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did to turn $100 into $597 in 4 days. Without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, basically it's called bike flipping. That's right, it's very, very simple. Bicycle flipping. I bought this bike, which is a track, for $100, okay, from a highly motivated sellers. Now there are two types of motivated sellers. There are the type of motivated sellers that need money. Maybe they can't pay their bill or electricity bill, what have you. And there are the type of motivated sellers that just need to free up space, okay? This seller was the type of motivated seller that didn't need money, but he wanted to just free up space because he had bought himself a new bike. Now, this is a gorgeous track with Gary Fisher. Now, if you guys don't know who Gary Fisher is, he's one of the kings of the creation of mountain bike. So Track bought over Gary Fisher's company, and this was a collaboration of both. So this is a very, very, very nice bike. And again, I bought it for $100, and let me show you some of the stuff that it came with. The bike came with hydraulic disc brakes. The bike came with upgraded handles right there. It came with upgraded pedals. Let's see. Let's go ahead and show you some of this. It came with the Lockout hydraulic disc. With the Lockout suspension system, which is pretty awesome. Why is that important? Because if you're pedaling on the concrete, you don't want to be losing your force because of contractions. You want to be able to go as further as possible. But if you're on the mountain or you're off-roading, then you want to have the compression to not have you just shake around, okay? So it came with that. Again, it had the pedals. It was a very, very nice bike, and I was able to sell it in 4 days, okay? Now, why was I able to sell it so quickly? Okay, well, number one, I washed the bike. I took great pictures of the bike. I would call it property. And then 3, I wrote a great description about it, okay? But here's the most important part. All those 3 are important, but number 4 is very important too. That I bought the bike at a deep discount, okay? And then I sold it at a discount. Excuse me. So I bought it at a deep discount, and then I sold it at a discount. Why did I sell it at a discount? Why didn't I sell it what the fair market value is? Why didn't I sell it above the fair market value, which we see a lot of sellers do in the real estate housing market when they're trying to sell their car or when they're trying to sell their bikes? The reason I didn't sell it above market, because it's not going to sell. It's going to take forever, okay? The reason I didn't sell it at the market, because there are so many other people doing the same thing. They're selling their property at the market. The reason I sold my property at a discount, or why I sold my bicycle at a discount, is because I wanted to have multiple offers. I want to have multiple buyers that are ready to buy this property. And this is exactly the same thing that I've done in real estate game, okay? If I'm wholesaling a deal, or if I'm buying that property to turn into a rental property, I wanted to buy it at a deep discount, okay? And when I sell, I wanted to price my home below than everyone else so I can have multiple offers, so I'm in control versus I'm begging a buyer, please buy my home, please. And the same thing happened with this. Once I washed this bike and I took pictures of it, I put it online, and I had multiple offers, right? And I could have even sold it in 1 day, but you know, when people respond to me and say, hey, can I come out here and look at the bike? My next question is, when are you going to buy? If they say something like, well, I'm going to look at 3 other bikes before I make a decision, then I don't even waste my time, because I know this bike is undervalued and it's going to move really fast. So I could have sold it the first day if I was motivated, but I wasn't a motivated seller. I just had the price down low so I could have multiple competition. Usually, when I have a good bike or when I have a good deal, and like, it doesn't matter if it's real estate, it doesn't matter if it's houses or cars or whatever, I become picky. I decide who I'm going to do business with because I'm getting a massive amount of people messaging me. So if the seller is like just testing the waters, they're just window shopping, they just want to come look at my bike and 5 other bikes, then I usually stay away for those buyers. I'm looking for someone that sees my beautiful pictures, right? Because I take massive amount of pictures and I show them the bike, you know, I have 50, 20 pictures, and I show them the bike, every angle. I want someone that's gonna be able to pull on the trigger immediately. They look on the Craigslist, they look on the online ad, and they say, look, I want this bike. And they're willing to drive to me and pick the bike up. If the buyer doesn't seem very motivated, they're just testing the waters, they're looking at other bikes, you know, they're trying to beat me up on the price, they're trying to negotiate, then I usually don't respond to them, okay? Now, if I have a bad product, what I mean bad is I didn't buy it at a deep discount, I just need to get rid of it, then I'll talk to everyone and their mama that messages me. But if I have a good deal, right, then I'm very picky on who I'm gonna talk to or associate with because I'm looking for a smooth transaction. I know I have a good deal, I know I have priced it below the market, and I know it's gonna sell, okay? So now we talked about why was I able to sell this bike so fast is because I bought it at a deep discount, and I sold it at a discount, which I had so many people lined up. I took great pictures of it, which the seller that I bought it for had horrible pictures of it. I couldn't even see the bike, right? I wrote a great description about it, and that was it. I didn't do anything to this bike. Like, I didn't do a fix and flip. I didn't buy this bike and tune it up and none of this stuff. I don't even do any of that stuff. I don't even know how to do any of that stuff. All I do is I buy bikes and I wash them, and then I write a good description. And again, the description is in my course or in my book. If you're interested, click below and download it. It's in my book, okay? All the stuff, what bikes to buy, what sizes to buy, etc. It's all in my course below. You can get it right now, or you just watch my video that's popping up. I have a lengthier video where I go into depth in details on how I find these bikes. Now, we talked about why is the seller. Number 2 was, why would the seller sell it to me? Because he was motivated. He had bought a new bike. Now, when I went to meet this guy, you know, he lived in a really nice part of town, really high-end homes, and like, you know, he was a young kid, you know, a college kid. He didn't care, you know. He was well off because of his family, and you know, much love to that guy, right? Because of him, I was able to make an opportunity for myself. So I'm not disrespecting him. But this guy was a really nice guy because when I was so excited to go up there because I was buying this bike for $100 and I knew I could sell it for $600, which is $597. Okay, I was excited. So when I give him my money, I ended up giving him $100 extra because I was doing these 20s and I was like so excited. And I met him and I ended up giving him $100 extra. And the guy was a really honest guy, and he counted. He was like, "No, I trust you." When I give him the money, I was like, "No, go ahead and count it, dude." And he's like, "No, I trust you, man." And I was like, "No, go ahead and count it." And when he counted, I was putting this bike in my car, in my Nissan Leaf, which is a small car. You don't even need to have a big car or anything like that. You don't need a truck or anything like that to do these deals. He came to me, he's like, "Hey man, you give me an extra $100. I was like, "Oh shit." So I was like, "Thanks, dude." So there's one thing, there are good people out there. And to some people will say, "Why would this guy sell you this?" Well, because I was providing him a convenience. I was providing him a service. I went to him. I give them cash instantly. I didn't beat up on the price or anything like that. I mean, I told him this is what I want to buy for. And at first he said no. And then he came back and said yes. Okay. And why did he come back? Because in my offer letter that I give him, because I give everyone an offer and I have like 3 different messages that you just copy and paste and give to them. And these 3 messages are, you know, proven to work as long as you're giving a lot of offers. So on my message number 2, I have an exit strategy that says, look, you know, if you don't want, well, you know what, I'm not going to get into it. If you want, just download my course. But simply says that message me if you can't sell it, right? And so this seller, when I give him my offer for $100, he was like, "Are you freaking crazy?" And you know, a few weeks later, he messaged me, says, "Come pick up the bike. I've already bought another bike. I don't have any space for it." And you know, I was like, "All right, I'll be over there." So I came to him immediately that same day, maybe like an hour later, right? Convenience. And so I give him an extra $100. Guy was a really honest guy. He let me know I give him extra $100. So I was like, phew. But even if I had made the mistake of giving him extra $100, which now I would be $200 into this bike. I sold the bike for $597, guys. So I would still be very positive, but thankful the guy was honest. And now I was able to, you know, spend $100 and make $500, guys. Okay. Now, some of you are saying, well, Mike, well, you say you sold it for $597, right? You didn't sell it for $600. Yes, I did sell it for $600. And the reason is that when I price these bikes, I always round to the nearest $3. For example, if I want to sell it for $600, I'll put it for $597. Now, there's a lot of studies that done in marketing that explains why that is. I'm not going to get into that. But normally, when the sellers or when the buyers come to me, because I don't deliver bikes to people, I don't do that. They come to me. That's the reason I do that, is for them to show their motivation. Now, some people may want to deliver bikes to them, or deliver couches, or deliver whatever. That's dumb, because you want to make sure the buyer is highly motivated. If I'm delivering to them, that seems like I'm motivated, right? I have a good product. I priced it below the market. I'm having multiple people message me. There's no reason for me to be motivated, okay? So they always come to me. I don't never deliver bikes, ever, 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 okay? And so when the buyers come to me, and they'll usually give me $600. They usually round up the $3 and give it to me. And some people will say, hey, do you have change? And I'll say, no, I don't. And they just end up giving it to me. I would say out of 10 people, only maybe 2 people will give me the exact price that I'm asking for, $597 or whatever the number is. But 8 people will round up the extra $3 and give it to me, and I've, you know, document this, and I'm like, man, that's crazy. Everyone just gives me the extra few bucks, like, hey, keep it as a tip, or I don't have change, or whatever the story is. I didn't feel like stopping, getting a coffee, and give me the remaining. So now we talked about why does my bike sell so fast? We talked about why would a seller sell me this thing, and I also talked to you guys about how I price it to make it look psychologically lower than my competitors, even though it's just a few bucks lower. But it's not a few bucks lower. I sell it at a discount, and even at this discount, I lower the price a few dollars, so it looks like the next level. Instead of being $600, it looks it's in the $500. If I'm selling it for $400, then I'll put it for $397. If I'm selling it for $200, I'll put it for $197. So I'll lower it a few bucks so it's in the next zone versus the level that I'm really asking for. Okay. How did I find this bike? Okay, this was a very, very simple strategy that I found this bike, and you should have a video here or at the very end of this YouTube video. There's a long video that talks about how to find it in all the areas that I find it. But on this bike, I found this bike off of OfferUp, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and I give the seller an offer because in my course that you guys can download right now, there's 3 proven messages that if you give to sellers, they're more likely to go and say yes to you versus a no. But here's the thing. You got to remember that not everyone's motivated. So if you're just giving 10 offers, then you may get 1 deal. 9 people will say no. So this is a probability, okay? Not everyone's motivated, just like real estate. You know, I buy houses from motivated sellers, okay? Not everyone's motivated. Some people are not motivated, and they're not my audience. They're not my customers. And as long as you understand that, that's the key, okay? Now, the other thing I want to talk about is, because of what was going on with the Bug-19 and the pandemic, I was able to sell this bike for $100 more, if not $150 more, okay? Because what's going on with the pandemic, there's a shortage of bikes, and that's why this is a great time to be a bicycle flipper, because of sanctions, which makes new bikes harder to get and more expensive for new companies, for like manufacturers. And because there's a shortage of bikes, I'm able to, you know, ask more money than I normally would. And this is why I think it's the best time to be a bicycle flipper. It's a great time to be a bicycle flipper. It doesn't matter if the economy is good or bad or whatever, or if we're in a pandemic or not. But with the pandemic, it has increased the profit margin, okay? And also it's more forgiving, because some of my students will download my course and don't follow it to the teeth, right, to the instructions, and they may overpay for a bike. But here's the great thing. In today's market, because there's not new inventory, like Track Specialized, if you go to their website, you'll see a lot of their products are out, okay? a lot of people are buying on the secondary market. And if someone didn't follow my instructions in my course, how I do it, right, and they overpaid, which is no, but some people still do, they're still able to have profits because of what's happening in our economy right now because of bike shortages. So all around, what I call the new flip, bicycle flipping, is literally an amazing business that anyone can start with just $100, right? No experience, no tools. All I needed to do this deal was water, soap, my iPad, and internet access, and and of course the knowledge that I have about flipping bikes, which you can download right now in my brain in my course below, guys. So again, to summarize it up, I found this deal on offer, if I'm not mistaken. I give the seller an offer. A few days later, a few weeks later, he reached out to me and says, come pick up the bike. I'm ready to move it. And it was a beautiful bike, and I sold it in 4 days. I could have sold it in 1 day if I was willing to be a motivated seller, but I wasn't a motivated seller because I knew I had a great deal, a great bike. I knew how to price it below market. I knew the bike had a lot of accessories in it, and the bike was like spanking new. So guys, if you had success in the course, please leave a comment below. Reach out to me. Tell me your success stories. I love to hear about it. It pumps me up. It makes me feel good what I'm doing. If you like this type of messages, click the like button. Share this message so we can teach other people that America is a great country and you can be your dreams. You can be an entrepreneur without a stinky banker, without debt, without special skills. We all have to gather some skills, but to flip a bike, to be a bicycle flipper, is so much more profitable than having a job, in my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor or a CPA or anything like that, but I am an immigrant to America, and since day one, I never had a job. I've never worked for anyone since high school, and I've always been able to create through creativity and imagination, and that's what I bring to you guys. The bicycle flipping is a way to make money if you've lost your job, if you need a second side hustle, if you need a best side hustle, if you want something that really truly works in your backyard. I don't care if you're in California, Florida, Texas, New York, New Jersey, Oklahoma. It does not matter. The bicycle industry is a billion-dollar industry, and there are a lot of sedentary people that have bought a bike and maybe used it for a month and then put it in their garage and they forgot about it, and the bikes are spanking brand new, like this guy's bike is. Look at it, it's like spanking brand new, right? And they just want to get rid of it and because A, they need the money, or B, they need space, or C, they bought a different bike, or who knows what the story is. They're moving out of the country or out of the state and they just want to get rid of it. And this is where the opportunity comes from. If you have the knowledge, which you can get in my course, and I also provide it to you right here, and if you're willing to hustle. Some people, you show them what the gold is, but they're not willing to go with the hammer at it. They're not willing to put the sweat work in. And in their mindset, everything's negative. And for those individuals, this is not going to work, right? But for people that believe that America is a great country and this is the only country where you could come up, then this is a possibility for them to work. The only reason, in my opinion, that it would not work is if you don't take action or if you don't give enough offers in. If you just give 3 offers and people are like, no, oh, this doesn't work. But I'm very confident that if you get 50 offers, if you get 100 offers, you're going to have multiple deals and probably make a couple of grand for yourself very, very fast. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Much love. This is Mike at MrNoFluff.com. If you want to download this course, go to bestsidehustle.MrNoFluff.com, bestsidehustle.MrNoFluff.com, or look below for the link. Okay? Peace.